Hi, this is Amy, and I was asked to share my weight loss journey, and I thought it would be quicker to tell you rather than to type it all out in words. When I started thinking about doing this, I really had to do some soul searching, some deep, serious soul searching to get my answers. Um, as I sit here today and I think about my journey and how far I've came, it's very emotional for me. As I look back over it's been almost 3 years now, and I've had a lot of people support me, and over this time, my husband's been my biggest supporter, which I'm so grateful for every day. It started for me in July of 2012 when I started having really bad headaches at work. The headaches lasted all night and through the night, and there was times that it woke me up in the night. And this actually went on for several days, and I knew that I had to make an appointment. I knew something was wrong. So I called my doctor's office, made an appointment. At the appointment, they take your weight and take your vitals and do all those things before your appointment. The doctor came in. I'll never forget this. I remember like it was yesterday. He walked in and immediately started talking to me about my blood pressure. That day I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. Come to find out that's what was causing my headaches. And I talked to him quite a while that day in his office. And as I left that day, I'll never forget one thing that he told me is that he wanted to be honest with me. And I had never been told this before. He told me that I was clinically obese and that I was clearly a health risk. And that scared me. When I left that day, I remember going and getting in my car. I got in my car and I just broke down. I cried. I remember starting my car up, driving home, and I cried the whole way home. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what to do. When I got home, I cried most of the night, and I remember going to bed, laying there thinking, I'm going to take these pills that he gave me for this blood pressure, and it's all going to go away. I'm going to be fine. I didn't at that point even really think too serious about my weight was what was really causing all of my problem. I was at my highest weight that day that's recorded at my doctor's office was 272 pounds. And I still have the jeans that I wore that day to my appointment, and they were a size 22. And again, that was in July of 2012. At that time, I was drinking at least 3 extra large McDonald's sweet tea every day. I was eating very unhealthy. I was eating Big Macs and quarter pounders and chips after work and mashed potatoes and gravy and desserts at night and ice cream and all kinds of just constantly something that was junk food. I was miserable. I was clearly a health risk. And several months went by. I never changed any of my habits. I started feeling better once I started taking the blood pressure medication, but I never did anything about my weight or my health. And several months passed by, and I remember one day it just hit me that it was time to start holding myself accountable. I was miserable. I was miserable when I would bend over to tie my shoes. It was little things that I couldn't do. I mean, I was just miserable. One day at work, we were talking about weight, me and some girls on my team, and she had a video at home that she said she had done the year previous, and that it worked for her. So I got a video. It was a $5.99 video. It was a video that you were supposed to do it for 30 days. I brought it home. I didn't do anything with it the first day. I looked at it and I thought, well, I'm going to do it the next day. That day came and I waited. So finally the weekend came, and on that Saturday I put the video in, and it was a 30-minute video, and I did the video for 15 minutes. I was so out of breath, sweating like crazy. But I did it, and I thought, oh, I did it. I did it. So the next day I did it again, and I did that for every day for all that next week. And after that, I had talked to one of my friends, and a few weeks later, she joined me. She started coming over to my house after work. Her and I would meet here after work every single day, and we did the videos. We it was amazing, because I remember thinking, when I would get off work and I'd be driving home, I'd be thinking, surely she's going to call me and not want to do this video, because I don't want to do this. You know, I wasn't in a routine. I wasn't in, you know, I just didn't want to do it. I was tired. I was exhausted, and working out was the last thing I wanted to do. But every day we showed up, and we did the videos, and it was one of those things to where we started to see changes, and I started to see changes in my body and myself and how I was feeling. We found an app on our phones that was called MyFitnessPal app, and I still use it today. You log your food, and you can log your workouts and all the water you drink. And that's another thing that became huge during all this is water. I started being a huge water drinker, and that I cut out my sweet teas, and I started eating a little healthier, and you know, learning things on my own. And you know, I would hit plateaus and read about it, and you know, try and break through it. And I really got to where, you know, this really became a huge part of my life. I mean, everything I did was, am I eating the right thing, you know? And I did not eat out, no processed food. I completely cut that out. And one of my biggest successes is when I hit Wonderland. Now, if you don't know what Wonderland is, that's when you get under 200 pounds. I'll never forget, it was a huge moment for me, because I messed around with that 3 or 4 pounds for probably 2 weeks. I knew it was going to happen soon, and I was getting so excited, and I was trying everything I could to hit 199. And finally, when I did, I was so excited. I think everybody in Branson knew that I hit 199. I was like shouting through my rooftop. And I texted my friend and told her, I called my husband, and it was just like, I did it. You know, I really felt a huge accomplishment when I hit 199 pounds. So we continued on, and we did measurements, you know, on our arms and our legs and our thighs and our waist, and everywhere. We kept track of our measurements and would see the changes as, you know, as we kept working out and eating healthy. And it just got to be a huge part of every day of my life. And last year I found Beachbody, and I joined different challenge groups, many different challenge groups. I joined for motivation, for learning. I learned a lot about meal planning, portion controls, and working out, all the different workout videos, switching up different workout videos. And I've learned so much through Beachbody. I've learned that stepping outside your comfort zone can be so scary, but if you want to grow as a person or a leader, you have to face it and overcome your fear. And I've done just that. And I've stepped out of my comfort zone and totally in with confidence. I'm so happy, you know, and where everything's taken me. Has it been easy? No. There was many, many days that, you know, it was hard. There was never a day I ever wanted to stop, but there were days that it was extremely hard for me at first. And I just want to ask that you please share this, because if I can inspire someone or help change the lives of others, maybe they won't have to go through years of being miserable and not know where to turn. and not know what to do. I became a Beachbody coach last month because one of the main reasons is because I've been there. I believe in Beachbody and it's truly real. It's helped me so much over the last 8 months, 9 months since I've joined the different challenge groups, and I've met so many different people throughout the United States that are on the same journey or on the same mission, and it's been great surrounding myself with friends and people that are interested in the same thing and want change and want to be better, better and healthy. And I never set out to lose 134 pounds when I first started this. I never dreamed, when I actually started, I guess really deep down, I never knew that I was this much overweight. I really did not plan on losing 134 pounds. But I'm so glad I did, and I'm so glad that I'm where I'm at now, and it's changed my life and made me look at things so different in life, and I can do so much more now that I couldn't do before. And I'm just so grateful that I'm part of Beachbody. And I know that I'm not quite where I want to be yet, but I know that I'm closer every day with the good choices that I make. So don't hang up. That's my story, but right here I'm going to show you some pictures of me throughout my journey over the past 3 years.